according to the narrative. Now, let's be real clear. I don't necessarily think they know what's going on yet. There's a lot of weird going on with this.
I know.
First of all, there was that one guy who was the decoy. This story is horseshit. Like, none of these things make any sense to me. Like, you're telling me that this kid who's not military trained, this guy, first of all, how did he get to the roof? How come nobody was looking? How come nobody was like, there's a direct line of sight between where he's sitting and those roofs? You guys didn't check? You don't have a drone? Like, that's insane. So he's on the roof, he shoots, he jumps from the roof. He jumps down 14 feet.
Yeah, we saw didn't they have video of him jump? Somebody had a cell phone video of him jumping
There's
down,
a video
right?
of him jumping. So this guy, whoever it is, jumps off of the roof.
If the government does want to hide something, what they do is they give you so much information that you don't even know what's real. So many different possible ways that things could have gone down, so many different manners, so many people speaking, so many publications publishing. And it's just meant to be chaotic, to drive you crazy and to just go, okay, I'm just gonna accept whenever the authority says something and not prod any further. We can't allow that to happen here. I won't allow that to happen here because this something terrible has traumatized the world, okay? And I feel as though when it comes to this, the media, the government, the talking heads, everyone is confusing us about what actually took place with Charlie Kirk, this event, how it got set up. I even would like to know who picked the venue, okay?
Turns out Charlie Kirk's death ain't random, but a premeditated setup from the jump. And now, Joe Rogan and Elon Musk are both calling out Erika Kirk, saying something about her story just isn't adding up. The internet's buzzing, and folks are beginning to wonder, is Erika really a grieving widow or hiding the biggest lie in the whole story? From the start, the whole case felt too clean, too perfectly wrapped up. Now, with Rogan and Elon both hinting there's more beneath the surface, that random tragedy narrative is starting to crumble fast. Rogan's the first one who really called it out. On his podcast, dude couldn't let it slide. He said straight up, the story doesn't make sense. He wasn't buying the official tale about some 22-year-old with his granddaddy's ancient rifle pulling off a sniper-level shot from 200 yards like he was a trained Navy SEAL. Rogan's words cut through the noise. If you believe that, you'll believe anything. He talked about how clean and new that rifle looked, like it came fresh out the box, not no dusty relic from World War I. Even the scope on it, modern composite stock, spotless. Rogan called cap right there.
Now, here's where it gets weird. The first images of this rifle with a scope, I swear to God, it looks like he has a composite stock on it. Like, it looks like a modern 30-06 rifle. So a 30-06, so that's the rifle. 30-06 is like, that looks like a very modern looking stock. I mean, it might not be. It might be just a bad resolution. It might be wood. It's hard to tell. But if you showed me that and you said, hey, this is my cousin's rifle, is this any good? I'd be like, looks like a standard bolt action rifle with like a sophisticated modern scope on it, sure. Now, apparently, the narrative is that this is his grandfather's rifle from World War I and doesn't have a serial code.
And then he hit what really shook folks, the pants down decoy. Yeah, one dude on site yelling, I did it, then randomly drops his pants like it's some performance art. Turns out that same man been spotted at other high profile tragedies. 9/11, the Boston Marathon, even a fake bomb call. That part right there flipped the internet upside down. Joe called him a decoy. He pulled that wild stunt as some sort of distraction.
First of all, there was that one guy who was the decoy. All right, so you got this guy who's an older guy who starts yelling out. Didn't he take his pants down? He took his pants down. This guy was at 9/11. He was at the Boston bombing.
All the hits.
He called in a fake bomb at another place. And then he did this at this thing.
Then Rogan asked what everybody been thinking but scared to say, how's a kid supposed to disassemble a rifle, sneak it in a backpack, climb up, assemble it again, line his shot, and make that perfect kill from distance, all without being seen or caught? The streets saying that ain't just luck, but logistics, cause even trained shooters take practice for that type of hit. So either this shooter's John Wick 2.0 or the story's a setup.
They said that he took it apart and then put it back together again. Shut the Do you know how much time it would take to do that if you were highly skilled?
To disassemble a gun.
To disassemble a rifle so that you can get it in a backpack. And by the way, not going to fit.
Not going to fit in a backpack.
And then somehow or another reconnects it once he gets off the roof? What? What's
that's
that
what
about?
Is that what they pitched, huh?
Yeah. And then he's supposed to get it in that stupid backpack. It's literally, it makes no sense.
Fast forward, Rogan's clip goes viral. Elon Musk catches it, drops a single tweet, mark this post for the future. The truth will come out that one post had the internet in meltdown. Folks started running theories like wildfire, screenshots, timelines, freeze frames. Even Rogan's fans started syncing Musk's words with his podcast, saying they're both hinting at the same play, that Charlie's death was staged. And when you look at the timing, yeah, it gets worse. Charlie got hit right after talking about gun rights, literally seconds after asking about firearm laws at his own event.
A student went up there and asked Charlie Kirk a question about how many transgender shooters there had been in U.S. history or something along those lines. Charlie Kirk answered, the student gave him a rebuttal, and then Charlie Kirk goes to pick up the microphone to answer the second question, and that's when the shots went off.
Behind him, a man adjusts his cap, the perfect frame before chaos hits, folks calling it a signal for the shooter to go ahead. The timing's so clean it looks cinematic. Security, sloppy, no visible perimeter, no counter snipers, no real response time. Word is, somebody had to know the schedule, maybe even arrange it. This wasn't no random hit. It looked like somebody on the inside gave a little nudge, said, now. And Rogan wasn't the only one calling foul. A former FBI agent said it straight. If you take out a public figure with a single distance shot, you ain't guessing. You're either trained, prepped, or backed. You know where the target's gonna stand, what angle's clean, what exit works, and how to leave zero trail. That's not a rowdy protester. That's precision with purpose.
Well, it says that they came prepared. It says that that individual came prepared to take that shot. So they knew that Charlie Kirk was going to be there. They were familiar with that area. If they were not familiar with that area, they wouldn't just show up. I mean, the show had just begun. It was the first show in that tour. So that individual showed up and was able to gain access. That means they knew where the stage was going to be, most likely, and what building that they could get on in order to take that shot. They came dressed in case if it was a Kevlar helmet, then they were ready to get shot at. It also leads me to believe that there's a possibility they went back inside that building, took off those clothes, and exited with everyone else in the melee of the situation.
Now, the whispers getting heavier. Maybe, just maybe, this wasn't the left taking a shot. Maybe it was the right staging a martyr moment. Allegedly, of course, because what better way to unite your base than a public tragedy blamed on the other side? The gun rights setup, the weak venue security, the chaos narrative. It don't just line up, it's choreographed. One dude put it bluntly, saying that was a marksman shot. This was a setup, and it will be used to set off absolute chaos by this administration. They'll make a martyr of him, and this will be the catalyst. This should scare the shit out of everyone. Another wrote, this was a hit, people. Then comes Candace Owens, loud as ever, refusing to let it slide. She said the government and certain billionaires cooked up this cover story to bury what really happened. Candace even claimed Charlie wasn't hit from the rooftop at all. Said a rifle bullet like that would have gone through 7 necks, and Charlie didn't even have an exit wound. Her words were cold. He was unalived up close. Not from a roof, but from right there.
Okay, and this is going to dispel a lot of theories that are out there. And I'm telling you this 100%. Charlie Kirk was shot from the front, and the bullet did not exit. And at least a fragment of the bullet was recovered from his neck. And I'm going to tell you exactly where it was recovered from. I have fact-checked this information from multiple sources now. I've actually been sitting on this for a little bit over a week. Right around here. So think about almost in line with your shoulder blade right in the center. Now, why is that helpful? Because it gives us a bullet trajectory, okay? We went in here where you saw that, and it was stopped, and a fragment was pulled from, think right, if you're just touching your spine in line with your shoulder blade. That leads us obviously to the part that he's maybe not being forthcoming about. They did not recover a bullet from a .30-06. They didn't recover a bullet from a .30-06. It just didn't happen, okay? If it found a .30-06 bullet, Charlie's death certificate certainly would have reflected that.
Then she revealed something crazier, that 2 unauthorized men on site took memory cards from Charlie's event cameras, the ones facing his chair. She showed slowed down footage of it happening. That's straight evidence tampering, a move you only make if you've got something to hide.
There are 2 men that look rather mysterious. They appear, they move his chair, and they take down the camera that's directly or was directly behind his head. Why did they do that? You can see, slowed down here, he pulls out the chair, he stands on it, and yes, that would be a big no-no for a crime scene. You don't move anything. He takes down the camera that is directly above where Charlie was sitting and would be able to provide, therefore, a lot of insight. And then you can see kind of sits the camera onto the desk, and it looks like he removes the SIM card from it, or the SD card, if you will.
Next thing you know, Candace Owens gets hit with a gag order. Yeah, ordered to shut up, but she went online anyway, posting, "Don't worry about the gag order in the Charlie Kirk case. I plan to violate it on the world's behalf. What I've learned this week is enough to burn the house down. Yes, Charlie Kirk was betrayed by everyone. That one post told everybody she found something real, but the part that got the internet's radar up, her hint that Erika Kirk, Charlie's widow, ain't telling the full story. Candace said there's betrayal in the mix and that the truth would make people sick. See, Erika's got her own history. Former Miss Arizona USA, pageant queen, Trump ties, older than Charlie by 5 years, met him while interviewing for a gig at Turning Point, the same organization he built from scratch. And when you tie that with the fact that Charlie's dad was the architect for Trump Tower, things start connecting in real ugly ways. Folks saying that the relationship wasn't random, it was arranged, lined up years before, maybe even orchestrated through Trump's own circle. Then there's that weird clip of Trump himself joking on stage saying, "They fired sniper rifles at me, but I turned at the right time." Charlie couldn't believe it. He said, "How the hell did you dodge it? Folks ain't laughing." That line aged too ugly. It sounded like he knew something, or at least wanted to remind people who dodged and who didn't.
Legions of far-left radicals resort to desperate acts of violence and terror because they know that their ideas and arguments are persuading no one. They know that they're failing. They have the devil's ideology, and they're failing, and they know it. They feel it. And they become violent. They seem to become very violent on the left. They've rammed vehicles into federal law enforcement, fired sniper rifles at ICE agents, and me, you know. But I made a turn at a good time. I turned to the right. Charlie couldn't believe it, actually. He said, "How the hell did you make that turn?" I said, "I don't know."
Now Erika, she's been moving fast, cleaning up socials, staying quiet, and looking way too composed for a woman who just lost her husband in public. It's that eerie calm that makes people wonder, is she grieving or guarding something? And with Rogan, Musk, and Candace all stirring the same pot, the question's no longer what happened. It's who made it happen and why Erika Kirk's name keeps sitting in the middle of it. One user wrote, "There is something creepy about Erika Kirk." Another said, "I think his wife had something to do with it, or at least knew he was going to be killed." While this other dude hit hard, calling the Fed's narrative BS. They had to silence him. Now they have to try to spin the narrative. This kid was the mastermind to remove this problem. They need to understand trust has been broken, so BS narratives are too easy to spot. So now the question is, was Charlie Kirk really taken out by some random lone shooter, or was this an inside job made to look clean? Did Erika know more than she's letting on, or is she just another pawn in a much bigger game? Drop your thoughts below. Let's talk about it, and make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, because this story is far from over.